Hello everyone. I hope you and your family are in good health. So I'm here to share with you all how to make your time productive and earn a career. All right. So in the midst of chaos, so there is also an opportunity to build a career. So let's discuss about that. And my name is Raman. I am a SaaS trainer and consultant. I have been 16 years into the IT industry and around 10 years of corporate experience in SaaS data management, data exploration, data analytics, and reporting. Okay, so which is a must in any domain. So I'm here to share the current market scenario. That is, what are the growth opportunities in the data analytics market, and what different sectors are calling for additional talents with new skill sets. Okay, again, a very important point to know. Okay, so we have to look into different sectors. Okay, what's their demand? Okay, so depending on their demand, we have to prepare ourselves. So when to prepare ourselves, we have to see that what is the right course we are supposed to adapt to. Now, again, the uh, sensational topic, okay, around the world is about the COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19 is creating a never before experienced anxiety, okay, making people wonder what would happen to their jobs and careers right now. Okay, and industries such as hospitality, restaurants, airlines, or you talk about the media and entertainment, okay, have been impacted as the business visibility is minimal for next 1 year in some cases, or at least until the next quarter in some cases. Okay. So now employees who are working in the sectors like sales, customer support, operations roles are trying to find alternate jobs in other sectors. Now again, if they want to be successful, they have to transfer their ability and the core skills into new domains. Okay, now they have to focus on acquiring IT skills as well as the ability to work remotely. Okay, now everything comes to mind. Nothing is transparent as of now. So we have to understand the market scenario. Based on the market scenario, we have to understand that where do I fit in, and do I have the required knowledge? Do I have the required skills, and also the ability to survive in the market? Of course, there is no doubt about it. Uh, Analytics isn't the way of the future, okay, because it's a way. It's a way right now. Okay? So, having been adopted in all sort of different industries, you'll find analytics being used everywhere. You talk about the aviation, you talk about the predictive maintenance analysis in manufacturing plants, even in the retail business industries. Okay, you can see the data is getting utilized. Okay, at the same time, when the data is getting bombarded, okay, we start using some analytics procedures to understand and improve our customer loyalty and tailor unique offerings. Okay, so let's try to understand what the discussion topics we're going to speak on, or we're going to discuss on. Okay, so today we'll see what is the current market trend with respect to the data analytics. Okay, firstly, this is very specific to the college graduates, those are pursuing their college degree, those who have completed their college degree from several streams or different categories. Also for the working professional who are not into IT, they're into non-IT, they would like to switch their jobs, they want to get into data analytics or into a market where they can survive. Okay, at the same time, it's also for the professionals who are working on the IT, how they can upgrade themselves for the next level. Okay. At the same time, so when we have this unexpected, COVID-19, which is exactly impacting a market. Now, what could be the scenario, okay, which will lead us to a career? So there is always a hope, okay, not to worry. So how to build the hope, and to which uh, segment we have to build the hope. Okay, that's very important for us. And also we need to understand that how and why SaaS data analytics course is beneficial for us. Okay, and why Sankhyana? Okay, so what we do, okay, what we're going to provide you with, okay, how we're going to upskill you, how we're going to place you into a career, not just as a job. Okay, and also we'll see that what are the placement achievements we have across the circle. Sankhyana Consultancy Services was founded in the year 2014. So the first branch which was opened at Kamnali, Bangalore. Okay, so Sankhyana in Sanskrit it means numeration. So basically a process of calculating by assigning some numbers to something. Okay, so we always believe in working on the data. Okay, based on the data we try to pull up the information, and based on the information we try to visualize the output. Okay, then using the statistical model we'll try to get the meaningful and decision driven businesses. So Sankhyan Consultancy Services is one of the leading organization in Bangalore, wherein we are into training, staffing, consulting, and service support to not only the students, to professionals and corporates, okay, on SaaS and data management tools since 2014. Of course, the SaaS is existing from a long time, okay, but Sankhya's consulting services have been putting a lot of phases to build up the career of an individual. So who we are, okay, so we are accredited training partner. Okay, so being a accredited training partner with SaaS, so we also become a global leader in SaaS analytics. And you will have access to the SaaS software and documentation, which means that you'll be working on the legal SaaS software, and also you'll be providing with a lot of documentation wherein you can upgrade your skills. Okay, and you will be trained, you'll be coached by the certified and accredited trainers who are more than 10 plus years of experience. Okay, so once you are done with that, you'll be getting a globally recognized SaaS certification. So the course is what you uh, adopt for. Okay, so you have to go through the certification once you get certified. Okay, so these certifications are globally recognized, which you can use with your CV, and you can actually showcase in the social media. And also you'll be getting the digital badges. So of course we'll be discussing on each and every topic here how this is going to add value to your career. Now, the services what we have with Sankhyana is the training, one vertical. So we have a consulting, another vertical, and also the solution here. Okay. So in the training, we ensure that we train the students, we train the professionals, we train the corporates. So depending on the background, depending on the age, depending on their experience, we try to mentor them with the best course available so that they can start the career with. Okay, so we have a long training process in which you'll be understanding the step by step how we can build your success at each stage. Okay, so at the same time we have to ensure that you complete the training on time and you have to get into the career also. Okay, also we have one vertical wherein we provide a complete solution to the business market. Okay, any kind of a solution, could be customer intelligence, could be prediction or statistical model. We provide solution to any domain, okay, across India and also outside India. Okay, and also we provide the consulting part of it, wherein you need some experts from our end. Okay, so we also provide the consulting part. Okay. Okay, now how the training process starts with, okay, the process starts with course, enrollment process, training process, and the placement process. So firstly, we'll try to understand how this the processes run. Okay. Now, when you talk about the courses, okay, firstly, when you contact us, okay, so the first and the foremost thing is first to understand what's your educational background. Okay, at the same time, which stream you are into. Are you pursuing your course or you have completed your course? Okay, at the same time, we have to understand that do you have any experience, okay, in data analytics? Okay, at the same time, if you're a working professional, okay, are you into full time or into part time? Okay, at the same time, how much time you can invest for the training? Okay, at the same time we have to choose the best course available so that you can start building your career, not just as job. Okay, so suppose you're from the pharmaceutical domain. Okay, so we have to understand that you're from a B pharma or license background. So accordingly we have specified courses, okay, wherein you can adopt and start working towards it. Okay, suppose you're from a banking domain. Okay, so we have to choose a specific course on which you can start working on it. Okay, suppose you're from a manufacturing or you're from other domain, engineering, for example. But how this courses is going to add value to your career? Okay, so we'll also discuss that in detail. Okay, so the enrollment process is very simple. The firstly, once you have chosen the course or we have advised you the course with, after that you have to go through the aptitude test. Okay, so once you clear the aptitude test, we'll take the enrollment, and then the first thing what we do is we will give the foundation training. Okay, firstly we have to understand that what exactly the data means here. Okay, what information means here, what is the prerequisite training to be provided to you. Okay, so once the prerequisite is over, then we start with the actual module. Okay, so the training process starts immediately depending on whether you're getting into the weekend classes or a weekday classes, whether it's going to be online training or a classroom training. Okay, so the training process starts, and once the training is completed, during the training, we'll be dealing with a lot of real-time examples. So we'll have a lot of business scenarios. We'll be having a lot of exercises. We have a lot of activities. We have a lot of demonstration. So we will make you feel the actual data which you're working on. Okay, once you've worked on the particular data, you will get the confidence that no, this is the kind of data I'll be working on in the future. Because if you compare the education, what you've acquired from the college, may not exactly be the same where you're going to work on. Okay, so what you gain from the college or the institution is a knowledge. What you gain from is a skill and ability. Now we need to understand the difference between knowledge, skill, and ability here. So the main important difference between the knowledge is basically a theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. Okay, for example, suppose you have acquired a good knowledge on the commerce part of it. Suppose on the banking, you understand what is a civil. Okay, you know how the calculation of the tax. Okay, so this is the knowledge what you acquired. Because it doesn't mean that knowledge is not must. Okay, to acquire the skills, the first foundation is the knowledge. So of course, in the institution, in the college institution, you acquire the knowledge. Okay, once we have the knowledge acquired, okay, on top of that, what skills you need to develop so that you can start working in the workplace. Okay, now what basically are skills? Okay, skills are the proficiency developed through training or experience, which means that so we will be ensuring that you work on the real-time business scenarios which you can add value to the knowledge which you have gained from the institutions. So we'll be relating with the practical examples. Okay, so that's the skills which you're going to add to it. Okay, it's not a separate thing, it's going to add to the knowledge what you acquired at the colleges. Okay, now the final part is the ability. Now that you have to build the qualities which you need so that you can do something bigger in the marketplace. Okay, now this is a integration of the complete process. First you get the knowledge, then you acquire the skills, and then you build the ability how we can stand separately. Okay, how we can be outstanding from other candidates here. So once the training, during the training process itself, we'll be explaining on the business scenario as is discussed. Okay, later you have to go for the certification process. Now the certification process is set as a global certification, okay, which will be appearing. Okay, during the global certification, you need to prepare extensively. Okay, now how we are going to guide you through it. Okay, so we have a lot of online test papers, we have a lot of theory test papers, so we'll have a one-to-one discussion on each and every scenarios which we'll be working on. Okay, so this is like individual attention will be paid for each and every candidate here. Okay, so once you get certified, you'll be getting a badge. So there are two levels of badges. One is just because you have completed the course with the authorized training institute, you'll be getting a digital badge for course completion. Once you get certified, you'll be getting another badge saying that you're a certified professional. Okay. These two badges can be shared on the social media like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So you stand out from other candidates saying that you have acquired the skills from an authorized training institute. Okay. So why we prefer authorized training institute? Because there is a step-by-step business scenarios, okay, which is exactly made matching with the requirements in the market. Okay, so once you complete your certification, your CV will be processed across our tie-up companies as well as non-tie-up companies. Okay, so for which you also have to prepare on the interview skills. Okay? So at Sankhyana, not only prepare for the interview, we also guide you with the personality development. Okay, how we are supposed to frame the answers, or how we are supposed to frame explanation in the interview. Okay, so what is required is a good communication knowledge. Okay, how you're going to improve that. So we'll be assisting you with all those things. Okay, so once you get placed, okay, the placement process, then you start your career. Okay, now during this complete path, with a course, enrollment process, training process, and the placement process. So the main important thing is what course you're choosing. That's very important. Okay. We will be guiding you to the best course available so that we can suit your need at the same time, which can take you through a career process. Okay, it's not just not a job. Okay, it is going to be a steep career job, sorry, career path for you. Okay, with respect to the challenges, with respect to the excitement at the job, with respect to the package, okay, with respect to the growth in the organization. So everything counts. Okay, so where you're going to get into this. Okay, the courses at Sankhyana is not limited to just base advanced. Okay, so we are into the base as advanced as. Now, what we usually cover in the base as, okay, in the base as, we're going to cover the common business scenario with respect to the programming part of SaaS. Okay, which means that first thing, we have to understand that how we can access the data. So what is the purpose of we accessing the data? Why should I learn that how to access the data? Firstly, the data in the globe can be in different forms. Okay, it could be in the form of flat files, could be in the form of Teradata, or could be in the form of Oracle, DB2, databases, structured, unstructured, could be in any ways. Okay, now, is there any tool in the market which can read these data sources, which comes in variety of forms? So using this programming part, the first and the foremost thing we'll see that how we can read these data sources into the SaaS platform. So once this data sources are read in the SaaS platform, only then we can use the power of SaaS on it. Okay. So what is the power of SaaS? The power of SaaS is nothing but we have a lot of encapsulated procedures. Okay, a lot of encapsulated formats, which can help us to manipulate the data, which can help us to validate the data. Okay, not I'm not trying to get too technical here. Okay, let's try to understand that whenever you're trying to get the data in different forms here, okay, could be in understandable way, could not be in an understandable way. It might be coming with a error. Sorry, could be coming in an incomplete form. There are so many values which are missing. The values could be inconsistent. Okay, so first of all, we have to validate the data. The validation is nothing but finding out the problems with the data. Okay, that's the first stage, which is called the data management. So firstly, we have to analyze and think that what kind of a data we are going to read. Once we read the data, then we have to validate the data by using several procedures, okay, in the programming part. Okay, now validating is again, as I said, that is going to be finding the problems. Okay, well, unless until we find the problems within the data, we cannot start cleaning it. Okay, so SaaS provides use with several procedures which can help us to validate and find the problem with the data. Okay, the data which we're getting into it. Okay, the data could be in any form. Okay, now once we have found the problem with the data, next part is to clean the data. Okay, once we start cleaning the data, we have to understand that which are the required values we need. Okay, there could be some missing values, could be invalid values. For example, um, you are walking into a mall. Okay, you're walking to a mall, and you could find some people standing out and distributing some forms and saying that if you can just fill this form and give it to us, we'll call you for some exciting prizes and could provide you some offers. Now, the way you're writing your name or your address, your telephone number could be different. Okay? So they're going to maintain each and every customer's data in a single table or multiple table, for example. Okay, for example, you have written your address with street as STREET, okay, or avenue, AVENUE. Okay, now that could be lowercase, uppercase, or proper case. Okay, it again depends on you how you going to write it. There is no restriction saying that no, you have to write this way because it's not a online application. Okay, wherein we can impose this kind of a restriction. Now the next customer, maybe the same street, the next customer might be writing like ST dot, okay, or avenue in the uppercase. The next customer could be writing the street in all lowercase. Okay, so the same word is not consistent across the same column. The same thing goes with different uh, variables or the columns what we have. For example, telephone number. Somebody is very specific about writing +91 for Indian country. Then they start writing the mobile number, or they try writing this uh, code. Okay, then they start writing with this uh, landline number or with a hyphen. Okay, there are several scenarios. Okay, I'm just taking a simple example at this particular point of time. Okay, so the scenario could be very different. Okay, now this kind of a data when it's trying to come in. Okay, so we have to find the appropriate method to validate it. Once we start validating the data, then we have to start cleaning it. So we have to choose appropriate methods to do it. Okay, not all the tools in the globe can quickly do this work for you. Okay, there are so many restriction, resource utilization. Okay, there is a restriction could be imposed on the resources availability. Okay, there could be some kind of a challenges you might face with the uh, techniques which other tools are not providing. Okay, there could be some other challenges which might be existing in different tools, softwares, organization. But is there any tool in the market which can actually overcome all this thing with respect to time, with respect to the security? Yes, of course. SAS is one of the leading tool in the market. Okay, so SAS can process this with the encapsulated procedures. At the same time, we have several techniques wherein we can save the time. At the same time, we can also work on benchmarking the resources consumed. Okay, so on the basis level, the first thing what you're going to learn is all about the essentials. Okay, the first thing, how we can read the data, how we can generate reports if the data is clean. Okay, then how we can explore the data, how we can validate the data. Okay, so in the base as itself, we have another portion called as a programming 2. So in base as we have programming 1, and we also have a programming 2. Okay, in the programming 2 is completely dedicated to make you understand the data manipulation techniques. Okay, of course, the data you have cleansed after validating it, you might have cleansed it. Okay, now data is not in the form where you can start analyzing it or trying to interpret the outcome. Okay, we might have to uh, start working on the data so that it can be ready for me to start analyzing it. Okay, now some examples could be, for example, you have the address column. Okay, in the address you have your house number, street name, your city, your country, your area name. Okay, now everything in a single column here. Okay, but I want to do some analysis based on the customer purchase in a specific city, but this particular city is one of the words in that particular column. Okay, so there should be some techniques where I can extract this. At the same time, the city could be in uppercase, lowercase for the same city name. Okay, for example, you're talking about Delhi. Okay, Delhi can be written as New Delhi somewhere. It could be written as a Delhi. Could be somewhere Bangalore, Bengaluru. Okay, could be any different ways, the same word which has the same meaning, but again in different ways here. Okay, so we have to ensure that even those values are being captured. At the same time, we want to do some analysis so that we can separate only the city part from the particular address. There are chances wherein the customer's name, okay, could be the first name, last name, and middle name. Sometimes the customer would have only mentioned first name and last name because there is no middle name as such, and the customer title could be in a separate column. Okay, sometimes we have to combine this together in a single column here. Okay, so this kind of a challenges would occur. Okay, so this data manipulation techniques can actually help me to prepare the data based on the key columns which I'm planning to analyze and get the output from. Okay. Again, there are four parameters which is widely considered when you're trying to do some analysis or you're trying to calculate the ROI. Okay, of course, you know what is ROI, return on investment. Okay, now when we have return on investment, we are looking at where we trying to invest, are we getting some output? Okay, so there are several examples wherein we can analyze the data to get this ROI. Now, how do I understand that? How many customers are actually walking into my mall, whether it's on the weekends or on the weekdays, even on the weekends? What is the best time they walk in? How many customers are actually walking in a large quantity? Okay, large numbers, I would say. Okay, in the mall. It's in the morning or in the evening or afternoon. Okay, so at the same time, why I'm trying to get this data up. Okay, so of course I can make a count of all this data, how many customers are entering and how many customers are leaving from my mall. Data is accumulated, but I have to do something with the data to analyze it. Well, what is the purpose of analyzing the data? The analysis is required to understand that these many customers have walked into my mall and what is the total purchase. Okay, so what's the customer's likings. Okay, at the same time, do I need to utilize all the resource available of my shop or my mall? Okay, when on the weekdays I find that there are very less number of customers who are walking into the mall. I don't see much sale also happening here. So practically if you see, there's no point keeping all the elevators on or escalators on. Okay? And I don't need to keep all this lights on or jazzy switches on here. It's not required. Okay. But on the weekend, when we have more number of customers who can be more productive, so I have to ensure that the resource utilization can be on an upper level because I'll be getting that much ROI. Okay. So this data can be analyzed using this, but how smartly we are going to analyze the data, how deeply we can drill down the data to understand the customer insight or the customer mentality here. The same thing goes with the people, how they look at a newspaper, for example. Okay, so when you look at the newspaper, the advertisement which is given on the right hand side of the newspaper is more expensive than the left hand side because the human tendency to open the newspaper and look on the right hand side. Okay, even this has been noted. So each and every customer's behavior has been monitored. Okay, now when we get the data, how do I come to this conclusion? We had huge amount of data. Millions of customers have walked in. Millions of customer has purchased this particular product. Or customer has spent so much on this. But unless until I understand the customer behavior, how I can do it. So I cannot make a decision based on 20 customers, 30 customers, or I can't make it on a verbal level. No. Okay, when the data is huge, we have to understand the first thing to analyze. Does my software or the tool is able to manage this much amount of data? Okay, first thing, yes, if there is an answer is yes, if my tool can handle this much amount of data, is my tool fast enough? Is my tool fast enough to actually uh, process the data? Because there is always a competition, right? When there is a lot of competition which is happening, you have to ensure that no, we are the first people to publish the outcome. Okay, so okay, my software is able to handle this the huge amount of data, which is a big data level. Now, how secured is my tool? See, there are several things we need to keep in mind. Okay, even if my tool is very secure, which is dealing with a lot of data here, the next question could be, is my software able to analyze the data in depth? Can I do some kind of a forecasting? Can I look at the prediction? Can I do some kind of a text analytics? How can I look at the customer behavior? How can I understand the customer intelligence? Okay, can I post this using a visualization? In future, can I monitor this data on a longer process? So all this should be supported. Now, for this reason, I cannot keep depending on different tools, right? Because there is always a good chance of data leakage when I'm trying to give different tasks to different tools within the environment. Okay, I'm talking about third party. Okay, I'm not talking about the same platform. Okay, the way we have in SaaS, one platform we can do everything, end-to-end process, business to business, customer to customer. But when you're talking about the third party tools, you might be using one tool for data manipulation, one tool for visualization, one tool for predictive modeling, one tool for storage. Okay, there are a lot of challenges when you're trying to migrate the data from one to another. There are a lot of chances wherein the data might get leaked. Okay, and security is more essential with respect to data and information. Okay, of course, there is a difference between these two words, data and information. Information is derived from the data. Okay, so once we have the information, we can start analyzing the data which has been captured at the first place here. So this kind of a data manipulation techniques will be part of your programming too. See, by this time itself, we have discussed so many things wherein what practical scenarios will be covering in your base SAS. Okay, so once you're done with the base SAS, we have an advanced SAS. Okay, in the advanced SAS, again, it's not a complex programming. No, it is not. Okay, what additional you have to learn which is required in the market. See, each and everything, the courses what we're going to guide you through, okay, is demanded or is in demand in the globe or in the marketplace. Okay. Now when we talk about advanced SAS, which will cover the SQL programming, macros, and also the programming 3. So in the base SAS we have programming 1, programming 2, and your advanced SAS has your SQL, macros, and programming 3. So what is the purpose of me learning SQL macros here? Okay. Now when a script is being created, okay, there are few steps, okay, which is necessary and more efficient to process. Okay. Now SQL itself is a third-party language. Can you write the SAS program on SQL? No. Can you write the SQL programming on the SaaS platform? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Look at the advantages here. Okay. So if any company is acquiring SaaS, and previously, initially that company was using SQL programming. Okay, all the experts are over there. SQL programming. There are scenarios wherein the experienced employee have to learn SaaS from the scratch, or they can work on the same SaaS platform. They can use the skills of SQL on the SaaS platform here. Okay. Again, in SQL, we're teaching you multiple techniques, how we can manipulate the data, at the same time, how we can generate the reports. Macros is for automation purpose, how we can automate this. So why this is required? This is the actual scripts scenarios which is there in the marketplace. Okay. So in the base SAS and advanced SAS, we'll be teaching you more on the essentials, the data manipulation techniques, how we can automate it, what are the different techniques we can save you resources, and also the programming 3 part of it, wherein you can see some efficiency techniques, how we can do a different methods of lookup efficiently. Okay, we have a multi-dimensional table, two-way tables. Okay, so this kind of a common scenarios will be covered in the advanced SAS level. Now, who actually fits in this base SAS and advanced SAS? Now, base SAS and advanced SAS is the beginning of any course. Okay, any advanced course you could take with respect to your domain, with respect to your graduation. The first and the foremost is going through the base SAS and advanced SAS. So once you completed your base SAS and advanced SAS, then you have to understand which domain I really fit into. Okay, of course, you want to get into a career wherein you want to only be in the data management part. Of course, base SAS and advanced is more than enough. But again, if you want to see yourselves to a next level, okay, you have to choose whether you want to be a business analyst doing a reporting, or you want to be a predictive modeler by using statistics, or you want to be a clinical SAS programmer, or you want to use a different platform which is also SaaS via platform. Okay, so we have different courses depending on what we do. Okay, for data integration, nothing but we're trying to do the ETL processing, extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, by using this extraction, transformation, loading, we pull the data, we transform as per the business rules, then we load the data into the data warehouse. Okay, not limited to the first level of SAS analytical course here, which is a common scenarios, and the talk of the town, which is the data science. Okay, in the data science, we will take you through the R, Python, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and also you will become a SAS certified big data professional at 2 levels. Okay, one is a level 1 and level 2. But again, if you want to become a data scientist, so you need to have some kind of a prior experience. Okay, the practically speaking, if you have a prior experience, little bit of experience, at least 2 to 3 years of experience, okay, in the business domain, then you can easily become a data scientist. Okay, so of course there are a lot of courses available across the globe, but why SAS data sciences with SAS? Okay, here we're going to provide you with the in-depth knowledge about the data scientist, not only with the machine learning, Python, R, and AI, also with the advanced analytics and also big data level experience. Okay, now again, coming to the enrollment process here, so you can get in touch with us during this pandemic. We can always give us a call. Okay, so our experts and counselors always there to help you out. Okay, so they'll try to first understand what's your graduation, what's your experience, what's your age group, and do you have any prior experience, what are the courses you have completed before. So depending on complete background, okay, we can give you the best course available. Okay, that's very, very important. because taking a course and completing the course will not fetch you any career. So we need to understand that where I'm trying to head to. Okay, where if I'm trying to head to the right path, okay, of course I can easily make my career. Otherwise, I'll end up in a job. So we have all our experienced experts and counselors who are waiting to discuss with you. So please provide with the information what they need, and they can help you out. So once you are done with this discussion with our experts and counselors, okay, you'll be given a aptitude test. After clearing the aptitude test, if you feel that you need a demo class, of course, we can provide you a demo class also. We'd like to see that how is the teaching pattern. Okay, are you able to cope up with the teaching? Okay, is it from the basic level to the advanced level? Okay, of course, as I discussed that our training is purely based on the base to advance, which means that initially we'll try to understand each and every person's background understanding about the data. Okay, we'll start from the prerequisite, what is required for you to understand the business. Okay, from the scratch we're going to start, then we'll start with the actual course content. Okay. So once you're satisfied with this, then you have to make a decision. Once you made the decision, the enrollment process started by choosing the batches. Okay, which batch you'd like to enroll for. Okay, then of course the rest of the formality can be completed. Okay, so as we have seen that what kind of training can be adopted. Okay, either you can go for a classroom as of now due to this work from home. Okay, there's no classroom training for now. Okay, but of course in future we'll be starting. Okay, so just for the lockdown we have closed it. Okay, otherwise you could have taken the classroom training itself. Okay, and as of now we are into live web training. We provide live web to the students, live web training. So what's the difference between the classroom training and live web training? Those are very new to it. Okay, for the college professionals, those who have never ever taken up a training as a live web training. Okay, so only difference is in the classroom we can see the face of the trainer. The trainer will be next to you, next to your shoulders. Okay, guiding you and teaching you. Okay, in the same in the live web, the only difference would be the trainer will be online with you, and you can interact with the trainer live. Okay, only the physical appearance of the trainer will not be there. Otherwise, the knowledge, the content, the support, the help, everything you will get as per the classroom training and the live web training also. Only difference would be you'll be like online training. Okay, and also we're going to provide with a lot of e-learning kit for a self-study, or you want to do some case studies. Okay, a lot of examples or the case study, real-time business scenarios we'll be working on. Okay, a lot of videos available there. Okay, which will be providing you as official documentation. Okay, it is not an unofficial one, it's all official documentation. So if you all can see at the bottom, there are few badges. Okay, now the extreme right badge which says learn SAS. Okay, when you talk about the learn SAS badge, when you complete the formal training with SAS or SAS authorized training institute, you will be getting this badge. You cannot get this badge from anywhere else. Okay, only if you complete the training from SAS or SAS authorized training institute, you'll be getting this badge as a first level of encouragement and motivation. At the same time, this badge can be useful for you to showcase in your profiles, like you want to share in the LinkedIn, Twitter, saying that no, I've already completed, I'm just waiting for my certification. So employers are looking for someone who is actually skilled from the right place. Okay, so when you start sharing this, so you'll be at the first preference given here. Okay, so after the practice with our trainers, you'll be going for the certification. Once you complete the certification, we'll be providing you with another badge, which is called as a SAS certified badge here. Okay, so this is again a credential or accreditation saying that you are a certified professional, and this badge are globally recognized. Okay, not only in India, it's also recognized across the world. So these features are available for you once you have the training. So we have experienced instructors. We have Mr. Sajal Kumar, who is also a CEO of Sankhyana, who has more than 10 plus years of experience. And right now you're talking to Raja Raman. Okay, that's me. Okay, I also hold 10 plus years experience in the corporate domain on SaaS. We have Alvin Jose and Miss Nirisha, okay, who are specialized in SaaS and also in the clinical domain. Okay, so it's not only the clinical domain. We are into manufacturing, we are into banking, we are into retail, we are into all possible domains. Okay, we are not looking for a specific domain as such. Okay, we are into all the domains wherever the data analytics plays a role. Okay, our main focus is data analytics, very specifically big data analytics. Okay, because right now that's the only hope we have, data analytics for all the working professionals, for all the college students. If you want to make a career, okay, which is this particular data analytics is something which is not going to go down whatsoever. Okay. Now this is a learning report which we have gathered, a recent one. Okay, suppose you are a less than 1 year of experience, okay, and you have completed your SAS training from an authorized training institute. You can expect a salary package of 3 3K per annum. Okay, if you're having experience of 1 to 4 years, okay, you can expect easily to 5 lakhs, approximately 4 lakh 95,000. Okay, if you're between 5 to 9 years experience, 8 to 9 lakhs, and if you're like 10 to 19 years experience, of course you can look for something like 20 lakhs per annum. Okay, so that's not only the picture what we're showing here, this is the real-time data what we have received based on the salary pack. Okay, so if you want to achieve this, okay, you should equip yourself with the required skills. Okay, now right now you have acquired the knowledge. Okay, now the next part is the skills, and now acquiring the skills also needed that in which platform you are acquiring the skills here. So of course, this is not exhaustive list of people who are placed. Okay, this we have taken few of our experts. Okay, who have got trained with us. Okay, now working at different MNCs. Okay, and getting a attractive packages. Okay, so we would like to also see you here. Okay, so when you're trying to look at the right path, okay, you can also see yourself here. Right? Okay. So what more we do with respect to the consulting and analytical solutions here? Okay, we also provide um, full-time or contract basis positions to clients across India abroad. Okay, we are also into companies providing analytical solution, and also we are helping the CROs for statistical and programming data manipulations. Okay, we are also into recruiting and imparting training in SAS programming, data science, and big data. Okay, now always there is something in our mind. Okay, so the boom in use of SAS analytics. Okay, so the having the skills required to work with the data isn't just valuable. Okay, but it become a necessary nowadays. Okay, the importance of the skills is only going to become more important in future. Okay, as more industries and businesses jump into the bandwagon, which is why we are now seeing such a focus on data analytics during higher education. We can see that there are many institution colleges who have made the data analysis as a part of the course curriculum. Okay, so here at SAS, we believe everyone or everybody should have a chance to learn data analytics while studying or working because that's going to be booming. Okay, so right now at this particular point of time, the sensational happening around the world with everyone mindset is what's next. Of course, everyone has the question, what's next? Okay, maybe I'm a college fresh out. Okay, I could be studying. Okay, I could be working somewhere. I may be working from home right now. I'm not in the right domain. I've done my graduation something. I'm working at in a different domain altogether. Okay, somewhere I'm lacking something. So how do I again get back to the track? Okay, when you talk about analytics, which is going to exist throughout, okay, is going to exist throughout. Okay, at heart, analytics is all about solving problems. Okay, so I personally felt that no, how this skills can be acquired. Okay, so firstly, we have to gain the problem solving skills. Okay, so being able to look at various pieces of data and draw a conclusion is probably the most valuable skill for any employee to have. Okay, and surprisingly, it's something that's too often missing from otherwise technically advanced employees. So this is the challenges we come across, right? So we have to ensure that no, we gain the right skills from the right organization. Okay. So we also need to understand that from where I'm going to get the skills. Okay. On top of my knowledge, which I've acquired from the college or institutions here. And it's very obvious benefit to learn data analytics because it's one of the most focused in the higher education of the students. If you put simply, data analytics are valuable as more and more business sectors are start working towards the big data. Okay, and it's keep going to increase. Okay, as and when it's required. Okay, and also, if you look at the practical way, graduates with analytical skills will be able to command higher salaries and enjoy the pick of the available jobs. Okay, because we have to look at also a domain or expertise where you can actually fetch more salary, right? That's what we're looking for. So ultimately, there isn't any doubt that analytics is going to be a huge element of enterprise in the future. Okay, so we have to get ahead of the curve by learning analytics. Okay, now which is going to provide a pathway to success. Okay, now wherein I can just transfer my skills for every facet of life. Okay, now with SAS we have a range of courses that is designed to make learning how to work with the data easier. That's very important point. Okay, it is not about learning a technology and breaking our head. No, it's not. Okay, when you're trying to learn something, okay, how I can make my learning easier. Okay, how easily I can learn the technical things here. Okay, the only thing I should be struggling, not struggling basically. uh, the most important thing is how much time I'm going to dedicate to it. That's very important. At the same time, I should be able to understand this in a easier way. Okay, how I'm going to work with the data. So unless until I have a good understanding of the data or information, how I can make my learning easy. Okay, so here is where every one of us, okay, whether you're in your respective domain, you're not in the respective domain, or you're working professional, not working professional, during this pandemic or before COVID, after COVID. Okay. Firstly, do we possess the required knowledge along with the skills and the abilities that are needed in the marketplace? So, what exactly Sankhyan is doing? Sankhyan has analyzed the demand of the market. Okay, the current demand before and after. Okay, that's why we have this particular live session with you all. Okay, so analyzing the demand in the market, what skills are beneficial for you? Okay, where you can actually make your career. Okay, you don't have to get stagnated somewhere. Okay, that's when you have to build your skills in data analytics. Okay, okay, so let's also understand what is the data analytics. Okay, there are a lot of definition you might come across about data analytics on different platforms. Okay, basically it's nothing but get raw data, manipulate it, analyze it, and get the efficient output. So why I'm doing that? Because unless until I'm able to succeed in the first part, if I'm not able to read the data, if I'm not able to manipulate the data, if I'm not able to analyze the data, how can I make my business system more efficient? So the first, all the challenges should be broken. Okay, so that's when the SaaS fits in. Okay, is SaaS able to break all the challenges till we receive this output in an efficient way? Yes, SaaS is able to break all the challenges. Okay, SaaS is almost able to read any kind of a data source across the globe. Okay, at the same time, we have a lot of encapsulated procedures and data techniques which can be used. At the same time, it is very secure because it's going to be working on a single platform. Okay, it's not like migrating of the different tools here. One platform, we have specific tools for each and every operations what we have. Okay, then this particular information is used to optimize, or we can create some dashboard for a regular monitoring. Okay, then by monitoring, we can actually look at how we can increase the efficiency of my business or a system here. Keep it very simple, the data and the information. Okay, again we talk about the big data analytics important, of course. So data, when it keeps accumulating every now and then, and we keep see it's very harmonious when you look at the data which keeps accumulating from different sources every day, every minute, every second. The data is being accumulated. Okay, we need to understand that, is this data of any use? So how do I understand that data is of any use unless until I analyze it? If I don't understand the ad hoc variables, okay, or the ad hoc requirements, how I can analyze the data and come to a conclusion here. At the same time, we have to also keep so many things in mind, okay, like cost reduction, okay, at the same time, the new products and services which keep launching, at the same time, what decision I'm making on it, okay, it's like no demand and supply. Keep it very simple at this pandemic. I'm just making very understanding in an easier way as a layman, okay, supply and demand. Okay? So we have to balance between the demand and the supply, very important. So how do I know that how much supply has to be done? Okay, how do I understand that how much people are going to demand? There could be chances wherein suddenly the demand might go low and I would have supplied more. Okay, so during this kind of a pandemic, we could see that there are so many products which got stagnated on the way, okay, which got spoiled. Okay, so we need some kind of analytics to be worked on it. Okay, and this analytics can be worked on data. There's not only a small amount of data because there are so many tools or softwares in the market which are working on data, but when the data keeps increasing, these tools are not able to analyze a big data level. So there is where SAS is playing a major role. SAS is not only for small data, okay, it's not only for big data. SAS can handle any amount of data. Okay, the process is very simple, but we have a lot of steps involved in each and every process. Okay, the first thing, plan. Okay, define why you need data analysis first of all. Okay, is the data really good enough for me to go ahead? Okay, now if you analyze the plan, okay, then you start collecting the data from data sources. Why I'm supposed to plan? Because unnecessarily I don't have to collect the data which is not going to play any importance for my analysis. Okay. So once I define my process on data analysis, I start collecting the data from several sources. Okay. Now after collecting the data which is coming from different sources, it might be in a cleaned way. It could be inconsistent or consistent. We also need to understand that how this data is going to help me. So first of all, when the data is being captured, so I start cleaning the data, or I want to clean through the unnecessary data which is not required or not going to play an important role in my analysis here. Okay. So once I have the required data in a cleansed form, I begin analyzing the data. So again, I have to keep in mind to analyze, do we have the appropriate tool to analyze it? Do we have the appropriate algorithm to analyze it? Okay, do we have the appropriate security or procedures, okay, or any kind of other requirements to start analyzing the data? Okay. So once we have analyzed the data, we have to look at the outcome. Okay, is this outcome of any use to me? Okay, then I look at the results. Okay, then when I feel that okay, this particular data has given me this kind of insight, I'm going to apply this to it. Okay, now who can provide this best results? Okay, the best result can be provided based on the different outcomes and different possibilities how we have analyzed the data in different angles, very importantly. Okay, if you're not able to drill down the data to the deepest level, you cannot see the hidden patterns in the data. So firstly, you should know that which tool in the market or which software in the market can actually help you to see the hidden patterns. Okay, so looking at some amount of data, we cannot actually interpret what is the outcome. Okay, we can of course take a decision, but the decision might not be long-term decision. Okay, that might be good for a quarter or a half yearly. Okay, but if you want to drill down deeper and if you're able to find the hidden pattern of the data, okay, you can actually decide for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years for the results. Okay, so who is using data analytics is not limited to a specific domain. Okay, everyone, if you can look at it. Okay, I'm just taking an example of healthcare, okay, banking, government, manufacturing, travel, telecommunication, education, automotive, and defense, and also security. So we have so many domains where you can use analytics. Okay, so let's take one of the example here. Okay, so for example, I'm looking at healthcare, for example. Okay, now healthcare now, okay, the best example would be the current scenario of COVID. Okay, so in the healthcare, we are getting a lot of data based on how many patients, how many total population is there, how many getting being checked, okay, and how many has been discharged. Okay, what is the vaccine used? what is the amount of vaccine. There are so much of data which is being done here. Okay, so which vaccine is actually working and what is the percentage of recovery of each and every patient. Again, so again, data analytics. Okay, so this is actually helping me to create the best vaccine which is actually giving life. Okay, at the same time, the current scenario about the population. Okay, so what are the essentials, which is the non-essentials products? How much product need to be supplied to different regions of India? Okay, so how many patients, for example, how many hospitals should be ready if we cross the limit of uh, viruses which might attack the human being, okay, in the Indian population. Okay, where are the places where you can actually set up the cure, okay, or the resource availability to take care of the patients. So this all depends on the data analytics. Unless until we have done the data analysis, I cannot simply sit and depend on no. Okay, there are 5 patients. Okay, send the patient to one place. Okay, again another set of 10 patients. Again send to another place. So I can't keep searching at that particular point of time. So I have to plan. So that is my first phase. First, we have to plan. Once we have done the planning, then we have to pull the data sources. Okay. Now, when we require that, when we have pulled the required data sources, then we have to analyze that is this data any good to me? Okay. Will this give me interpret something? So we have to explore the data. Once we have explored the data, then we have to start analyzing and start predicting it. How much of demand of the places are required for my patients here. Okay, that's one of the real-time example, and I could see that there are a lot of institutions are actually working on this particular data analytics on a big data level. Okay. And uh, I would say travel. Okay, you can talk about the airports. Okay, so unless until you have a count of how many people will be traveling, okay, or how many people are actually entering the airport on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Okay, what are the required resource at the counters? How many employees should be there to handle these customers? How many buses are required to transport this passengers to the flight? Okay. There are many things. How many shops should be open within this particular airport? How many cabs are required? There should not be any shortage of cab. Okay, so unless until we have done some analytics on how many passengers are flying on a daily basis, hourly basis, or a weekly basis, we cannot plan. Okay, so initially plan, again we have to plan. So this happens only with the data analytics here. Okay, basically the data analytics is about analyzing the data. Okay, the term might look very simple, analyzing the data. This analysis of data actually gives me the scope of how we can manage my future. Okay, very importantly. Okay, the same thing I can go for the education, telecommunication, defense, security. Okay, so not limited to any domain. You belong to any background. Okay, depending on your interest on the background and your knowledge. Again, I'm using the word called knowledge. Depending on in which domain you have acquired the knowledge. Okay, you have to set up your skills on it. Okay, once you develop the skills on it, then you become capable enough to get into this particular domain. So this is the SaaS analytics life cycle. Okay, so it's like keep going on in a circular way. Okay, SaaS was founded in the year 1976. Okay, almost like 43 years ago. Okay, and the founder we have Anthony James Barr, James Goodnight, John Sal. Okay, so right now we are at the year 2020. Okay, so approximately the number of employees within SaaS. Okay, so it's looking at this life cycle. Okay, so it's like keep rotating here. So evaluate, ask, prepare data, explore, model, implement, act, again evaluate. That's very important. Okay, when you start acting it, it's not that always the challenges would be the same. The challenges might change. When the challenges changes, we have to again evaluate. Again, we have to ask a lot of questions how we can, what are the different parameters we can start working on it. Again, we have to prepare the data. Again, we have to explore the data. Again, we have to build a model and start implementing it. Okay, and start acting to it. Okay, so depending on different scenarios, okay, this cycle keep going on. The same scenario, for example, let's take example of this COVID-19. Okay, this is the first ever uh, uh, pandemic we are facing. So there are a lot of shortfalls with respect to the basic requirements. Okay, and there That the people asked not to come out, of course, for good hygienic reasons. Okay, so unexpected things. So there are few people who lost their jobs, and there are few people who are actually struggling for the daily requirement. So again, so this kind of unexpected thing once happened. Okay, so suddenly we cannot start again from the scratch. But if you're smart enough, okay, we should have be working in such a way that we should be readily available with different challenges we might face in the future. Okay, so we have to keep evaluating, okay, what might happen, why it might not happen. Okay, we keep asking questions, then we have to prepare the data accordingly. So we have to gather the data which might actually be responsible for the future breakdowns, for example, or the pandemic, or it could be some kind of a growth. Okay, so we have to create the appropriate models, okay, then start implementing it. Okay, so this life cycle is explicitly provided by SAS. Okay, I mean to say that SAS has provided you with all the available features wherein you can start easily preparing, or you can start acting on the data analytics part. Okay, so everything is data, of course. Okay, so suppose you're the CEO of an organization, and you only have data. Okay, so only with the data, what you can do, you know, again, data you receive through email, you receive through databases, and only everything is zeros and ones, right? So unless until the data has been converted to information, and the information has been converted into analysis, or it's been converted into prediction, predictive models, or uh, kind of a visualization. Okay, what we can do with the data here? So how we can actually go on this particular analytical journey, okay, from a mere data to the tangible results. Okay, so we need a platform. We need a platform which can actually help us to do the perfect analytical solution. Okay, and SAS is one of the leader in that. So there's common questions which a CEO or a decision maker might ask. Okay, for example, how you or a CEO, okay, is going to add the balance, okay, manage the request. For example, I'm being you being a CEO. Okay, the first question: I need the information now. When can I have it? Okay, that's what the demand is from a CEO or the decision maker. Okay, now when the request is sent, the request goes to a concerned person. Okay, now the concerned person might give the data immediately, might give within 2 hours, after 6 hours, in a day or 2 days, depending on the complexity of the data or where the data has been stored. Okay, so the CEO gets the data, and you start working looking at the data, but now it looks like, is the data any good? Now, he might start interpreting on the data, but he feels that no, why can't I get this information by myself? Okay, why I have to depend always to a third party or my employees? Okay, I have to send a request from them. I have to get this data. Then, if I want to do some ad hoc uh, analysis, okay, so again I have to depend on someone. There could be other many questions which is coming in the mind. Okay, so based on my interpretation as a CEO, I cut the budget by 10%, could be right, could be wrong also. Okay, based on the available data, I've done it. Okay, so maybe the data was not analyzed. Again, when I'm trying to do all these things, I see that it's taking a long time. Okay, now time is very precious. Okay, again, we're trying to do some kind of implementation, is taking a long time. Okay, now, is this what the business needs? Now, because of the time constraint, uh, due to the data constraint, due to the information constraint, I'm not able to take the right decision. I'm taking some decision by adding some budget. I'm trying to cut down the budget. Okay, and it comes to a point wherein it becomes so difficult for us to survive. Okay, to the decision maker. Okay, when if this is a scenario, so I need a tool, one tool which can actually help me, and in much easier way, in much easier way. Okay, so here is where the strategy comes into picture. Okay, now in any organization or any domain, if you look at, the first and the foremost thing is data integration. Data integration, nothing but the ways how we can import the data, then we have to transform the data, and we have to store the data. Okay, on top of it, you might have to um, intelligently we have to store the data. How we intelligently we can store the data. At the same time, on what data we can do some analysis. At the same time, how we can provide this intelligence to the businesses. Okay. Now we have to do so many tasks. Okay. When we have so many tasks, do I need to depend on any tool here? So can any one tool provide me this? Okay. So SaaS is a single platform which can provide you with all those features which is required for an industry solution. It's not only for banking, it's not only for pharma, it is not only for government, okay, it's not only for retail. Wherever the data analytics plays a role, SaaS provides a solution depending on each and every industry. Okay, there are few industry which might not be using uh, storage. We not might not be using scorecarding. Okay, there are few domains we might be using the scorecard, financial intelligence, could be operational intelligence. So there are organizations wherein we'll be looking at addressing the business rules. Okay, firstly we have to understand that how this business rule can actually help me. Okay, with respect to different domains here. That's where that's where SaaS plays an important role. Okay, when SaaS is playing an important role, that's where the Sankhyana also gets into analytics and solution to different domains across India and outside India. Okay, depending on the requirement, depending on domain, what is the requirement? So based on a specific requirement, we provide the solution to it. Okay, industry specific solution, not only for banking. So this is taking example of a banking, for example. So we have a risk involved. Okay, and of course in banking domain we also have a risk. There are a lot of risk, of course. So we can have a risk when I'm paying a loan to a customer. Okay, now what is the possibility of the customer repaying the loan? That's very important. At the same time, so how do I understand the customer's behavior? Okay, at the same time, what kind of a customers I can target? Okay, at the same time, how I can work on the operational intelligence. So the employees within the organization. What is the workforce management? How many employees do I need? Okay, so what are the tasks I can assign to each and every employee here? At the same time, financial intelligence, okay, based on the Basel legal activity based management. Okay, so there are so many other things which is involved, but is there any specific tool which can handle this much of data, this kind of requirements? Yes, SaaS is able to cover up most of the domains across the globe, okay, which can provide multiple solution to its customers. So here's example of a telecommunication here. In telecommunication, again, there are a few common things which is across most of the domains. Okay, like a financial network, customer intelligence, performance management. It could be for my government intelligence also. Okay. Now, how this works in defense? Okay. In defense, I need to understand that if I want to train a pilot, if I want to train a pilot, okay, what are the required fuel for his training purpose? Okay, how much days of training I have to give? Okay, how many pilots are actually uh, skilled enough to get into board? Okay, at the same time, how much investment I'm doing here? Okay, and what are the flight uh, requirements? I want to say the flight operational requirements. Okay, there are several things which is coming into picture. Okay, so why this analytics is coming into picture in each and every domain? Two things, two major things, of course. Okay, one is, am I doing right way? Okay, or is it really necessary to do this? So understand until you analyze the data, you will not understand that whether we can is the right way to do it or is it really necessary to do it. So we have to segregate each and every pieces or the slices of our domain. Okay, depending on slices. So unless until we are able to drill down to each and every deepest level of my domain, I'll not be able to see the hidden patterns. Okay, so we have to understand that which are the hidden patterns actually uh, affect my business in future. It could be in the insurance domain. Again, in the insurance domain, that how much payout I'm doing to claims. Okay, so what is the credit scoring? It could be retention also. If somebody has taken a policy from me, it could be a life insurance policy, could be a bike insurance or a car insurance. Okay, so what's the surety that the next renewal they're going to be with us. Okay, so am I supposed to give some bonus? Okay, loyalty bonus. Should I be deducing it? Okay, what are the compliance? Okay, what is activity-based management? There is so many other things which has been involved. So how do we find this? Unless until we have done a data analytics into it, we'll not be able to find this in-depth things. Okay, the same thing goes to the pharma. Okay, uh, pharma, we can look at the compliance standards, clinical trial data, e-submission, safety, because it's very critical when it comes to the pharmaceutical and the banking. They are not at all skeptical about choosing SaaS. Okay, they're not skeptical because SaaS is a tool which is more secured, okay, than any tools in the workflow. Okay, so they are not skeptical about taking this particular tool. Okay, that's why pharmaceutical industry and banking industry are already into SaaS. Okay, they always prefer SaaS as the tool for each and every task what they do. Okay, and of course other domains also are using SaaS. Okay, depends on which domain you work on. So that's why that's when you're supposed to discuss with that. Depending on your knowledge, we're going to provide you the skills required to make your career. You talk about the retail business. Okay, so which product is getting sold more? I can decide which product to be manufactured more depending on the supply and demand. Okay, what is the kind of a revenue? What are the different advertisement we have to provide? What is the promotion I have to do? Okay, depending on different tasks. Okay, so we can actually build a business here. It could be in manufacturing also. It could be different domains. Okay, so if I want to monitor this on a regular basis, okay, the monitoring is the visual is the best way of monitoring things. Okay, because it is not that easy to actually read a 20 million rows and start interpreting things. Okay, if the same 20 million rows are in the form of a visualization, actually I can see that what is the trend which is happening because my source data keeps updating every now and then. Okay, and then I can see the changes. So using this dashboard, actually monitor my growth or where I'm going down, okay, where I'm supposed to boost up, where I can start working on it. Okay. So this dashboard can actually give me a intact picture, okay, my regular monitoring or my current status in the market, okay, with respect to any domain. Okay, again, we can also provide an enterprise uh, dashboards, okay, and beyond to that. Okay, again, it depends a static dashboard or an interactive dashboard. Okay, so there are there are scenarios wherein you might have to work on statics dashboards. Okay, sometimes you might have to work on dynamic dashboards. Okay, so it could be an operations level or regional level. It could be country level. Different levels we can drill down. Again, we also need to understand the customer's experience. Okay, the customer experience are being usually provided in the form of feedback. Okay, so how do I actually understand the customers' expectations and how the customers are leaving us or why the customers are still staying with us? Okay, so depending on different words, okay, what they provide in the feedback, okay, actually we can understand that where are we lacking, where we can build the business more. So these are the keywords we can decide. Based on the keywords, we can actually see that how many keywords are required, okay, for me to understand the criticality of my business. Okay, then I can see that depending on the size of the particular word, okay, it sees that shows that how many customers are happy, how many customers are not happy. Okay, so it's a common thing which you can also see in your online shopping. Okay, you can see some words like not happy, pathetic. Okay? So if I see that the pathetic word during a text analytics, I can see the pathetic word is bigger. Okay, the size bigger means the number of words used in this particular feedback is more. Okay, so which means that there is some product wherein the customer is not happy about it. What is the problem? So we can start analyzing the problem. Okay, because there are several words wherein we can't focus on each and every word here. So we have to filter the words. Okay, so filtering the words actually help us to understand where is the criticality, where I can focus more on my data. Not limited to, we also provide the custom learning portal to the corporates, okay, wherein you can have a tailor-made portals where you can have links to relevant white papers, videos, tutorials, books, ebooks, okay, and also we recommend courses and certification for different programs within the institution. We'll also have a chance to work on the real life case study, and just to have more thoroughness, you have a quiz at each level, okay, and also private internal non-monitored online SaaS forum, which is like a lot of discussion which happens. We can have a good pace of learning, okay, and this content can be accessed by you anywhere on your tab, on your mobile, on a laptop, or a desktop. And then also, once you complete the course using the SaaS custom learning portal, you're also eligible to get this SaaS verified digital badges. Okay. So we can also have robust dashboard, customizable reports, and also the adaptable and scalable form. Okay, so this is where you can see this custom learning portal here, depending on your requirement. Okay, you can go and opt for SaaS programming part, or you want to get into this advanced analytical part, or you want to get into the business intelligence, or you want to be in administration. Now, administration part is somewhere wherein you like to manage the whole SaaS platform. Okay, so how we can actually manage the complete SaaS platform, different tools, several grids, multiple onshore shared processes. Okay, so that is where the administrator course helps you to manage the complete environment of SaaS at each organization. And also, we have the statistical analysis, different software like JMP. Also, we have SaaS via a platform. Okay, we also have a solution, data management, advanced analytics. Depending on your customizable solution required for your institution or your um, domain, okay, which can be customized, made as a tailor-made here. Okay, so we have a learning path. Okay, so how would like to start with? Suppose you already have some experience on science enterprise guide, but not very specifically how we can query and start reporting it. So we have advanced task queries and reportings, and we'll also take you through this reports and graphs of enterprise guide and our regression, which is required. Suppose you are already familiar with that, then you can look for the programming in SAS enterprise guide as experienced one or as a fresher. If you want to get into this administrative part, you can always go for the administrating SaaS Office Analytics and SaaS Enterprise Guide here. Okay, and also you get a lot of tutorials for SaaS Enterprise Guide. Okay, and the videos also which can go through it. Okay, so once you have completed this custom learning portal, you also get a certificate. Okay, so certificate with the institution, with your institution logo, along with the SaaS logo. Okay, saying that we have completed this course, okay, with uh, the SaaS authorized training partner. Right. So not limited to, we also will discuss what more we have. Okay. See, when you're trying to complete a course or you enroll a course with SaaS accredited training part of the Sankhyana consultancy services, you will have access to the legal SaaS software and course materials 24/7. So it's going to be absolutely free for you. Okay, and also you will get a guided mentors. Okay, there are SaaS instructors. Okay, who are certified and accredited. You also get a hands-on practice. You also have this individual and team projects, and the challenges what we face usually in the business scenarios. So once you are into the SaaS coaching, okay, so you also validate your skills, okay, by getting this certification for each level, okay, for base SaaS level, for advanced level, or you've gone for the predictive modeling here, okay, you earn this particular badges, okay, these badges can be actually displayed or you can share on the uh, social medias, okay, as we discussed that LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So, what is the importance of this particular badge? Okay, this particular badge is web-enabled version of a credential that it can be shared online. Okay, and this is a trusted method for a real-time credential verification. Very important by the employers. Okay, so when you earn this SaaS credential, you'll also receive a mail from Acclaim inviting you to claim your badge. Okay, so you can just click on the particular email and I can just download the claim page. I can create an account and they can share it to you. social media. Okay. So also I would like to add a few more things which as Sankhyana we provide. Okay, so we're going to provide you with a global SaaS certification preparation. Okay, so we also have 100% placement assistance. Okay, so we also provide you with the documentation, SaaS books, okay, which is online. There are a few paid books which you have to purchase online, or we also provide some documentation theoretically. We also will provide you with a code and sample notes. You can be a part of your user groups where you can discuss and understand more business scenarios. You will also provide the e-learning kit. You have a video portal, okay, for a self-learning, and you can be a part of the white papers. Okay, I mean to say you'll get a white papers where you can go through the latest update. Okay, and also the newsletters. Okay, e-newsletters. Right. So. This is all about want to discuss here. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can always get in touch with our experts. Okay, around the time. Okay, so we have the experts and also the counselors. You can just call them up for a detailed discussion. So we'll also have a detailed discussion about your background and to understand the much required course in SaaS so that we can build a career for you. So it was really nice spending time and sharing the current scenario, what is happening across the globe, and data analytics is booming. Okay, and SaaS is playing a major role. Okay, so give the opportunity to us so that we can guide you to the right path of career. Okay, so thank you so much, and you all have a great weekend ahead. Thank you so much. Take care.